Alright, welcome to the Analytics, a channel solely focused on analyzing the socio-political and economic happenings in Nigeria, Africa, and world at large. But before we begin, make sure to smash that button, subscribe, and press the notification bell so you can easily get us whenever we come online. Alright, let us move over to today's topic, which is will Bola Ahmed Tinubu win today's APC presidential primaries? For more than 3 weeks now, the Nigerian political atmosphere has been highly charged, owing to the activities of the politicians of various political parties who have engaged in maneuvering, arm twisting, and political lobbying in order to clinch the tickets of their parties for the various elective positions in the country. Now, our focus is on the All Progressive Congress, the APC, which is the ruling party in Nigeria. Aspirants, delegates, members of the National Working Committee, and the party stakeholders of the ruling party have all camped in Abuja since yesterday, where intrigues and suspense, where political arm twisting, maneuvering, and lobbying have been ongoing. Remember that the president held a meeting yesterday with governors of the party from the northern part of the country who have earlier last week made it known that they prefer a presidential candidate of their party to emerge from the southern part of the country. This is to them, and that is actually what it is. It is fairness, it is justice, since President Muhammadu Buhari, who will be completing his 8-year tenure by next year, is from the northern part of the country. Now, these governors have made it known, they have made their stand known that they prefer a candidate to emerge from the south. And remember, governors are a very powerful bloc of every political party, especially in Africa. Nigeria, not an exception. Now, while they were at that meeting with the president, the national chairman of the ruling party made a declaration that the APC is having a consensus. That means every other candidate should step down. All the aspirants should step down. Since, according to him, the consensus candidate is Ahmed Lawan, the Senate president, who is a northerner. And the governors repeated that they prefer a candidate from the south. And I think this stance of the governors had thwarted the chairman's plot to impose a candidate from the north on the party. Remember, the main opposition party's presidential candidate, their primary was held, I think, last week or last 2 weeks. Their candidate is from the north. If APC should have their candidate from the north again, it means north will hand over to north, thereby bringing anarchy in the country, because there is a political balance whereby north-south presidential rotation. North-south, north-south, south-north. Now, the question is, will Bola Ahmed Tinubu clinch the APC ticket tonight? My answer is, I doubt so. I doubt so. These are my reasons. His outburst at Abeokuta last week, the Tinubu fear factor in the north, the Igbo revolt vote, and the fact that the Yorubas are having more than one candidate. The Yorubas are the southwestern people, which happen to be the Tinubu's region. They have more than one presidential candidate, while the north is having the whole of the north, northwest, northeast, north central are having only 2 candidates, while the southwest are having about 3 candidates. Now, let me explain these reasons. Tinubu's outburst last week, where he said that it was him and God that made Buhari president. I don't know how true this assertion is, but I think it's, to me, political goofing. And the reaction that follows suit from politicians of the north proves this. Remember, President Buhari is a sitting president who has his powers as a president of the country. And you cannot just come out in the open and say that without me, he cannot be the president. And remember, we are in election time, party primaries. Now, politicians from the north are of the view that Tinubu insulted Buhari and that he will pay for it during the party's primaries. I don't know how true they will be to their words, but the governors from the same north have said that they want a presidential candidate from the south. Maybe it might favor Tinubu, it might not favor Tinubu. We will see. Okay? Okay, information getting to me now has it that the APC have said that their party's primaries will start tonight. I was thinking it's this afternoon, but from the information I'm getting now is tonight. Which means we in less than 24 hours, we will see who emerges their candidates. Now, the second reason, the Tinubu fear factor up north. Remember, an average northern politician prefers a president that can easily be moved, a president that can be ordered around. They don't want somebody who has his own stand, someone who can say no and stand on no, someone who can say yes and stand on yes. And they see Tinubu as somebody with a personal willpower that they don't want. And that explains the reason where there have been a lot of gang up against him from the north. Now, the third reason is the Igbo revolt vote. Remember, the governors saying that the governors of APC from the northern part of the country stating that they prefer a candidate from the southern part is, to me and to every other person from the south, fairness, justice. But if to an Igbo man, if power should move to the south and not to southeast, to them it's not justice, it's not fairness. Because nearly all the regions, I think all the regions from the south, the southwest and the south-south, they have all taken their shots at the presidency in this democratic dispensation, except the southeast. So they see that fairness will be when it will be micro-zoned to their zone. I don't know how it is. They say power is not given, that power is taken. But I still remember that in 1998 general election, Igbos voted massively. Those from the southeast, that is the Igbos, they voted massively for the southwest, the Yorubas. That was when Olusegun Obasanjo became the president. They saw it as a way of calming nerves of the June 12, 1993 election annulment. So those from the southeast are saying that the Yorubas, the southwesterners, should return the favor done to them about 12 years ago or 13 years ago. I don't know how these things will affect, but the rules of the game now states that the presidential primaries of tonight will be held according to the amended Electoral Act, which is that it is only elected delegates. Only elected delegates. So it means Lagos State is among the least represented. Every state from the southeast will be having more delegates than Lagos. Every state on themselves should be having more delegates than Lagos. So that means if there is any revolt vote, it will affect Tinubu. It will affect. Now, the governors have also shortlisted 5 names and they have submitted it to the president, from where if there would be a consensus, from these names a consensus would be reached. And those names are Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the vice president who is also an aspirant, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, Amaechi Dave Umahi. Amaechi is the Minister for Transport and the former governor of Rivers State. Dave Umahi, the governor of Ebonyi State. And Fayemi Olukayode Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State, and by extension, I think it should be the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum or the chairman of the South of the Progressive. Okay, the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, if I'm not mistaken. These are the 5 names submitted. Ordinarily, everyone would have expected only Tinubu to be a consensus candidate, but due to the roles he played in 2014 to the emergence of the incumbent, but it's not so. So with these factors, factor them in. The governors from the north are about 12 or 13, while the states in the north are 19. And remember, one of the governors Yahaya Bello is also a contestant. He actually walked out. The meeting with the president and the governors, Governor Bello walked out when his colleagues were like, this thing should be moved over to the south. The north are having only two contestants, Governor Bello and Ahmed Lawan, the Senate president. Now, the votes from Kogi would be massive. This is an election that involves only the elected delegates. The votes from Kogi would be massive. Now, APC is not having a governor in Sokoto. They're not having a governor in Bauchi and some other states. Now, if the 12th governor said we want this thing moved to the south, it means they are going to influence delegates from their states to vote south. What about the remaining 7 states from the north? Who would influence them? Definitely, they will vote by sentiment, and you know Nigerian politics. When sentiment comes in, it's always tribe, region. Where are you from? What is your religion? And the Igbos are having 5 states, and each of them are producing more than 25 votes. Lagos is producing less than 25 votes. Anambra, for example, should be having 27 to 29 votes. Lagos is about 22, 23 votes. So, factor all these things together, you see that Tinubu is highly disadvantaged. But why am I saying that? I don't think so. Why am I not saying an outright no that this election will not favor Tinubu? Is because Tinubu is a political bourgeois. He's a master of Nigerian politics. Remember, he's the brain behind President Muhammadu Buhari's emergence. There is always the surprise factor. And these surprise factors are those things that politicians hold to their chest. You don't know what it is until the card is played. So until then, I cannot tell. But from every analysis, I will call this presidential primaries that is to hold this night against Tinubu. I don't see him winning. With exception of God factor and the surprise factor, I don't see Tinubu winning. I see him coming second. I don't see him winning. I see votes rather favoring Osibanjo, Umahi, or Amaechi. Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, Rotimi Amaechi, former governor of Rivers and the immediate past minister of transport, or the governor of Ekiti State. No, the governor of Ekiti State, I don't see him being favored. He entered the race late. And Osibanjo is from Southwest. Osibanjo has made more impacts than Fayemi. Osibanjo has made more impacts than Fayemi. So I see Osibanjo, the vice president, Rotimi Amaechi, the immediate past transport minister, and Dave Umahi, the Ebonyi State governor, clinching the APC ticket. One of them would emerge victorious. I can be wrong. Who knows? But from the data I've collected, from the body language of stakeholders, and from the political atmosphere that I'm seeing, I can say vividly, I can say with clarity, with some atom of certainty, that this election will not favor Tinubu. And if President Muhammadu Buhari actually wants to cede power to Tinubu, all these intrigues, all these meetings, all these maneuverings wouldn't have been there. It would have been a straightforward something. The PDP wanted their candidate from the north. They were straight about it. They avoided zoning. They avoided zoning their presidential ticket. It was very clear about 2 months ago. It was clear to every political analyst that the PDP ticket would go north, and it actually went north. So we have 12 hours, 15 hours, less than 24 hours to see what will happen. But before then, make sure to click and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can always get us whenever we come online. This is the analytics, analyzing socio-political and economic activities in Nigeria, Africa, and world at large. See you next time.